Hey guys, welcome back to the Sam Lopez TV podcast. I'm Sam Lopez, and on today's podcast, we are going to talk about one of the most scariest things I have ever heard of in my entire life. This case scares the living shit out of me. Just by making this video, I was honestly terrified the whole time, but I want to talk about it, and I haven't done a spooky video in a long time, so on today's podcast, we're going to talk about the exorcism of Anneliese Michel. So let's get right into it, guys. Anna Elizabeth Michel, aka Anneliese, was born on September 21st, 1952 in Liefling, Bavaria, West Germany. Growing up, Anneliese and her family would attend Catholic Mass twice a week. When she was a teenager, Anneliese was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. She attended the University of Würzburg. Her classmates would later describe her as withdrawn and very religious. In June 1970, Anneliese suffered a seizure at a psychiatric hospital she had been staying at. She was prescribed anticonvulsion drugs for the first time. The drugs did not alleviate the issue. Anneliese then began saying she would see quote-unquote devil faces. After the first drug failed, her doctors prescribed her a new drug called Aolept, which was used for a treatment for schizophrenia. And by 1973, Anneliese began suffering from depression and would hallucinate while praying and would claim to hear voices telling her that she would rot in hell and that she was damned. The longer she stayed in the hospital, the more her mental health would deteriorate. She then became intolerant of sacred places and objects such as the crucifix. After her long-time treatment at the hospital she was staying at, Anneliese went to San Damiano with a friend that organized Christian pilgrimages. Her friend told the church that she was unable to walk past a crucifix and that she refused to drink the water of a Christian holy spring. This is what Father Alt had to say. As time went on, Anneliese and her family consulted many priests and churches and were convinced that Anneliese was in fact possessed. Anneliese was worsening mentally and physically. She began doing strange things such as drinking her own urine, eating bugs, causing self-injury, and would often display a lot of aggression. Anneliese then began taking more prescribed drugs like Tegretol. Soon after, she started to display more erratic behavior such as growling and being violent and would claim to see demons. Priest Ernest Out believed that Anneliese was suffering from demonic possession. Anneliese wrote a letter to Out in 1975. In the letter she wrote, "I am nothing. Everything about me is vanity. What should I do? I have to improve. You pray for me. I want to suffer for other people, but this is cruel." In September of 1975, Bishop Joseph Stengel granted priest Arnold Renz permission to perform an exorcism on Anneliese. The first exorcism session took place on September 24, 1975. 67 exorcism sessions took place between 1975 and 1976. After countless exorcisms, on July 1st, 1976, Anneliese passed away in her home in Klingenberg am Main, Bavaria, West Germany. She passed away due to malnutrition and dehydration because she was in a semi-starvation state for 10 months. She also contracted pneumonia, had broken knees, and weighed about 68 pounds and would not be able to move without any assistance. Anneliese was only 23 years old. In the fall of 1976, Joseph and Anna Michel and priests Ernst Alt and Arnold Renz were charged with negligent homicide. The trial began a year and a half after Anneliese's death on March 30th, 1978. Tapes were played during the court trials. The tapes were recordings of the so-called exorcisms that were performed on Anneliese. The accused were found guilty of manslaughter from negligence and were sentenced to only 6 months in jail. After the trial, the number of officially sanctioned exorcisms decreased in Germany. The Anneliese Michel case went on to become a very infamous case and conversation around the world, and was used as an inspiration for the 2005 horror hit movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which grossed $145.2 million at the box office, and the band Nine Inch Nails used audio clips of Anneliese's exorcism in their song called Communion of the Cursed.
Ja, ich will auch für die anderen leiden, damit die nicht in die Hölle kommen und so. Aber dass das dann so schlimm ist und so grausam und so furchtbar, nee. Das denkt man leiden, das ist so leichte Sache, aber wenn es dann wirklich schlimm wird, da will man überhaupt nicht mehr, da will mein Kind schlimm.
Nein, ihr Klötze! Und der Maul mir Klötze! Oh, so der will auch nicht, oh, ich geh auch nicht, oh.
Sind wir schon 3?
Ah, wie. Was ist so eine Scheiße?
Als Kind Gottes.
Ich hab dein Maul erschlagen!
Ruhe gibt's nur dort, wo die Liebe ist.
Ja, bei uns gibt's nur
Nur Hass.
Ja.
Und wo nur Hass ist, da gibt's keine Ruhe.
Nein, und für uns gibt's nie Ruhe. Nie.
Weil
In der Ewigkeit. Und jetzt bin ich verdammt. Die müssen in eigenen Seminaren ausgebildet werden, die dürfen nicht auf die anderen Universitäten. Kapiert?
Klar. Ist da sonst noch etwas zu sagen?
Oh, weil das,
Weil der Teufel größere Macht.
im Namen deiner seligen Jungfrau, im Namen Jesu, befehle ich dir auszufahren im Namen des dreifaltigen Gottes, des Vaters, im Namen des dreifaltigen Geistes, befehle ich dir auszufahren und nicht
So my opinion on this whole situation that happened was that poor girl really went through a lot, and I feel so bad for her. You know, this case is very scary, and I definitely, you guys might think I'm crazy, but I definitely believe that she was possessed. I absolutely 1000% believe that she was possessed and she was under control of a demon or some kind of entity or ghost or whatever. She was possessed, and I feel like they were doing way too much to her. And I feel like that's what led to her being killed or dying. And so that's ultimately what I think was the truth. I do believe in possession. I do believe there's another world that we don't see. I do believe in ghosts and demons and all that, and I do genuinely believe that she was possessed, and it's so sad. May she rest in peace now. She was young. She was only 23, so it's terrible how she ended up passing away, and I wish that she could have gotten even more help and she could have lived her life, and I really do wish that she was able to, but unfortunately she passed away, and may she rest in peace. And yeah, you guys, this is definitely one of the scariest podcasts I've ever, podcast or YouTube videos or whatever. Definitely one of the scariest I've ever made. I'm kind of shaky right now because this is it's terrifying. Even writing down my notes, I was scared, and looking for audio clips and for visuals, and it's terrifying. Gives me the chills. But yeah, guys, that's my opinion on the whole situation, and that's my podcast about the Anneliese Michel story. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you all very much. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this whole situation with Anneliese Michel. May she rest in peace. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll be posting very soon. So take care. Bye, guys.